What's up, good people? How is everybody doing? As you can see in lovely DC, the Washington Monument is right behind me. It is a beautiful day. It's Saturday. It's my birthday weekend, so I decided to come out here, take a walk with my wife, But also at the same time, I want to talk about what happened this past weekend, or this past week. So Thursday and Friday, we had a correction. And so I want to talk about that. A lot of people were panicking, a lot of people were scared, they didn't know what to do. And, the purpose of this video is to talk about what to do when the stock market crashes. Now, I'm saying crashes because it really wasn't a crash, but every time we get like a dip or a correction, people say, oh, the stock market's crashing. Well, that's not always the case, and we're going to break it down, right? Now, before we jump into the video, of course, I need you to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. And if you didn't hear in my last video, if I get to 1K by the end of the year, I'm going to do a 1K giveaway to one of my lucky subscribers. So make sure you press that little button in the corner, subscribe, as well as the notification bell. So every time I do a new video, you know first about it. Now, without further ado, guys, we're going to get right into the video. All right, guys, so if the stock market crashes, the first thing you should do is don't panic. Seriously, like when people say, oh, the stock market is crashing or whatever, like the first thing people do is panic. That is the worst thing you can do, because then you're going to get emotional and you're going to make rash decisions and you're not going to make good decisions, especially when it comes to investing, guys. So real talk, if people running around yelling that the stock market is crashing or the world's coming to an end, you need to say, okay, don't panic. And then we're going to move on to the second thing you should do, which is assess the situation, right? So most of the time, the folks that are running around yelling the stock market is crashing is because they got in the game late, probably bought at the top, and now the market is coming down and they losing money. So they think the stock market is crashing, right? So they scared and they just running around, oh my God, it's crashing. Now, let's put what a stock market crash is into perspective, first of all, right? So if you don't know, when the stock market decreases by 10%, that's really called a correction. So if you're on a constant uptrend, and again, if you go back and just look at history and extrapolate any 10, 20, or 30-year period, the stock market is like this, right? Going up. So, and every now and then you're going to have a little, a drop, because you got to, you have to recharge. It's just like anybody else. When you're running, you have to stop, pause, and recharge so you can keep on going. The stock market is the same exact way. So we broke down that 10% is just a correction. Now, what you really need to know is if it corrects by 30%, technically we're in what's called a bear market, where prices are continuing to go down. And that's when you really need to assess the situation. That's where you're going to say, okay, what do I need to do? Do I need to change my strategy? Do I need to switch my investments? Like, if you're in a bear market, you need to kind of be thinking defensive. You'll hear that word, defensive. You need to take a defensive strategy if we're in a bear market. So those are two things you want to keep into perspective when people say the stock market crashes, right? Another thing you want to assess is the political environment, like what's going on in politics, because yes, believe it or not, politics does affect the stock market. So you need to, see what's going on in politics at that time. Like, are they negotiating a bill, or, did tariffs come into play? Anything that's going on in politics, you need to know. And that also goes into economic policies and stuff like that. So you need to assess what's going on in the economy. Like right now, we're basically in a recession. There's over, I think the last report that came out, there's still, I want to say around 10 million people unemployed or something like that. Might be under 10 million. And so, you have to assess what is the economic situation. Are we prosper? Is the economy still booming? And maybe it's just a correction. So these are things that you need to assess, right? Another thing you need to assess is look how far you've come, right? If you invested, say, in March and you're still in the game now, and we just had that pullback on Thursday and Friday, you're not hurting. You're not hurting because realistically, you may be up 60, 70 to 80%. And when you think about investments like Zoom and, you know, some of these companies that have ran up 500-600% since the March dip, 2 to 3% is not hurting. So you have to keep those kind of things in perspective when people say the stock market is crashing, right? All right, family. And so the third thing you need to do if people are talking about the stock market is crashing is look for buying opportunities, guys. Seriously, the stock market is the only place I know where when things go on sale, people run. You're supposed to run to the sale. Like, let's put it into perspective. We just talked about what a correction is. So let's say we are in a bull market right now. Prices were just at all-time highs, and they came down by, you know, more close to 15 to 20%. You have to look at that with an investor's mindset and say, look, I'm getting a 15 to 20% discount. People were just willing to pay $500, and now it's down to, you know, $420 or $400 or whatever, and I can get it at that price? Why wouldn't you, right? Like, you have to think about stocks and assets the same way as you think about, you know, clothes or, you know, whatever it is that may go out on a blowout sale. You know what I mean? Like, think about like a pair of Jordans, right? Like some of the most valuable pair of Jordans go for what? $400, $500, $600. Well, if you can get it for $200, why wouldn't you? It's the same thing with stocks. Like, if you can get some of the best companies at a discount, why wouldn't you? So that's how you can look for opportunities, right? Again, in my video, the top 5 stocks to buy and hold forever, I showed y'all how to actually spot opportunities. Like, I showed y'all how to use the 50-day and the 200-day exponential moving average to spot opportunities. So if people say the market is crashing, like, pull up the chart and see if the bars are hitting the 200 or the 50-day exponential moving average. If it is, we talked about it. It's a good buying opportunity. So family, look, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope y'all enjoyed the DC nature. It was a beautiful walk. It was a beautiful talk. Hope y'all learned something. Hope you took something away from it. And again, I need you to like, share, and subscribe to this video. Help me get to 1,000. And y'all know the phrase, stay blessed. Peace out.